Hello, Glooscap First Nation. This is Jess in my blog. Oh, wow. Before I went to bed last night, I know a lot of people don't think me to be a religious person, which I'm not. I am a spiritual being. But I find it very hard to pray to God, but I find it very easy to pray to my father-in-law and pray to my mom. So lately, I've been praying a lot to Mom, and I end my day with, what is it that you want to share with me now? Because my mom always had that curiosity, the curiosity of what was on the other side, and, you know, that all-knowing, that feeling, that love, and everything else. And I know a lot of people think that my mom was religious. I think she used that as a protection while she was here, because I really never saw her as being religious, more as being spiritual. So anyways, that's how I end my day. I asked my mom to teach me something new, because she's on the other side, and I know she's sitting back and she's looking at us, and she only wants the best for us. So I wake up today and notice a topic. The first thing I look at, I always start my day looking at Facebook and just, you know, seeing what everybody's up to. And today, Phil Morris posted something about the residential schools. And I thought to myself, okay, this is where my day is going. This is what I'm going to learn about today. And so I did. I went to the link, and oh man, oh man, oh man. That, you know, saying I keep saying is that we won't know where we're going until we know where we've been. Learning our history is very, very important to understanding what we are now going through. Learning our history, okay, not to say that our chief and council have lived that history. That's the question we have to ask ourselves. I had asked in a previous video whether, you know, what it was that motivated Shirley and Mike and Lorraine. And I couldn't understand, you know, because if it is about the money, they have the money. So it can't be about the money. They're secure within their futures, and if they're not, well, they're really bad at mismanaging money because, well, we just look at the dates as to who's been in office for how long. And think about it, how long have they held those jobs and so forth. So, I mean, I'm going to make this little blog. I mean, it is about Glooscap, for Glooscap band members, but, I mean, help me out here. Is anybody else seeing this? Does anybody know whether or not any of our chief and council have ever been to a residential school? Man, the residential schools affected my life personally. The older uncles in my family were sent to the Should-Be residential school. They spent time there. They learned things there from the Catholic priests, and y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it made a definite impact on my generation. I wasn't even born. You know, well, that's not true. I think the last one shut down in the 70s. So I actually was born, but man, oh man, why is it that we are sitting here? We've brought this Catholic religion into our lives, watched it destroy us as a culture, and now I sit back and I see the connection. I'm like, oh my, you know, it wasn't just the sexual abuse and everything that the students went through in the residential schools. It was also the abuse of killing our spiritualism, not our religion, because I don't honestly, and I haven't found anywhere where our beliefs were anything more than spiritual. There was no label behind it like Catholic and so forth. And then it tied in. And now I see where the molestation and, you know, the abuse still continued, and it continued through religion. They not only took in and ruined our bodies, but they also ruined the souls and the spirits of these children as well. And this is what we have taught the next generation. Believe in your Catholic, you know, be Catholic and so forth. And now I see the connection. I see why Shirley Clark is sitting back. And I understand, you know, I don't know whether or not she's ever been to a residential school other than possibly as a chief. But somehow or another her family was affected because they got that religion core. I look up on our reserve now and I see these, you know, statues and whatnot, and I think to myself, because again, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual. That's what's killing us. We are living this false identity. You want to talk about genocide? Oh my sakes! Oh, it boggles my mind. But hey, I'm awake and I'm seeing this stuff, and I just want to, you know, pass it on. You know, consider it for yourself. What does religion do for you? I mean, whether you're Muslim, I mean, most natives are Catholic only because, you know, hey, that's what we've had to deal with the last, since they, you know, joined our communities, because our spirituality wasn't enough. And now that I am back to being a spiritual person, oh, I love it. The freedom that I have no guilt, first of all. The Ten Commandments and all that, you know, I've often said that they were just man-made laws for the time. Well, now that, you know, look at the time we're now in, and today is September 26th, and, well, we're still here, although I am looking outside. It's quarter to 3 in the afternoon, and the sky is somewhat pink. I haven't gone out to investigate it yet. I just took a glance out the window. But here we are going through all of these changes, and we're trying to grow. What is holding us back as a community is to grow? I think it has a lot to do with this religion. I was just made aware that my mom, again, not religious person, but she was spiritual. And her last gift to her community was her burial. I learned so much from that experience. If anyone could ever say they received a gift of losing somebody, I'm proud to say it's me. My mother gave me a wonderful gift, taught me really what it was to be spiritual and not worry about the afterlife and, you know, the heaven and hell, because we're living that now. Every time, you know, something bad happens to you, that's the hell. Every time something good happens to you, that's the heaven. It's yin and yang, it's left and right, it's right and wrong, it's black and white. That's religion. Yeah, they put a fancy name on it and whatnot, but hey, that is not who we are as people. As a society, as a culture, that may be a part of it, but that is not who we are. But yet we perpetuate it, and we go on and on and on, and we wonder how we always end up at that same spot. And again, to all the band members, this is all we're doing, is that we're just going around in circles. Nobody will put a period at the end of it, state it for what it is. I know how to get us out of this problem. We have always had, I sat back and said, why don't we hire a lawyer? Let's take Department of Indian Affairs to court for failure to protect us under the Indian Act. Well, guess what? Last week, September 7th, a woman by the name of Tina Young did just that in a group of elders from a reserve in New Brunswick. Another one up in Cape Breton had 3 counselors and the chief removed for failure to follow election bylaws. We're going through the same thing. We can do this. Everybody's going to stop the fear. They have no fear. These are just people who are messed up. And guess what? As long as they are messed up, our community is going to be messed up. Why? Because they're the ones who are sitting there showing us how we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to act. Some of us, and look at the problems on our reserve. What's with the prescription drug abuse? You know, I mean, alcoholism, hey, that's always been there. Well, at least it's been here since the white man's been here. And I don't even want to get into this white man, red man, you know, it doesn't matter. We're all human beings. And it just so happens that this culture inflicted itself upon us and is going to continue to do that until we say, no, enough is enough. We have our ways. We survived here for what, 30, 40,000 years before the non-native, you know, arrived here. We had our ways. Our culture was strong enough. Our people were strong enough that we survived it all just to have somebody bring in this system which there is no justice for any of us under it. So yeah, I say, let's walk into court. We don't need a lawyer to file a lawsuit. It's not hard. Anybody can regurgitate law. All you have to do is read a law book. Understand it, because I'll tell you what, there is a thing called the color of law, which means if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But regardless of whether or not you do get it, you still can make that application. I say, let's sue Indian Affairs for failure to protect us against Mike Halliday, Shirley Clark, Lorraine Whitman, and now Kristen Halliday. Why not? It's within our right. I need people to gather and get together. We need to get our butts into Halifax to let not the Premier Darrell Dexter know that we're upset with his actions because he didn't do anything other than forward my email along to the Department of Indian Affairs. He is the Minister for Indian Affairs here in Nova Scotia. What is he doing? Nothing. So fine, let's hit them where it hurts. Let's take ourselves down to the cruise ships, and when they're coming in, let them meet the Mi'kmaq and let them hear what we have to say. Total strangers who may take it back to their country and sit back and say, you know what, that's pretty messed up what Nova Scotians are doing to their Mi'kmaq, not protecting them. You know, it's not as if, you know, here they're sitting back saying, oh, we're uneducated. No, we are educated. You know, the fact that we have knowledge of what this chief and council is doing is education. We learn every time they open their mouths what they are doing. They may not blatantly come out and tell you, hey, we're stealing from Peter to pay Paul, or actually they're stealing from us to pay them. They won't come right out, but they will give us information. This new thing, Mike Halliday, everybody wants a letter. A letter for what? Our bylaws don't state that we have to submit it in writing. Our bylaws state that upon request. Well, so what they need, they want it in writing. Well, I don't have to give it in writing. I'm frustrated. I really am, because, hey, all we have to do is wake up, accept responsibility, and we can move on. We can put these people out of business, and then we can get down to what we need to get down to, which is healing our community, being a part of our community, being a part of the future of our community, without being dictated by 4 people how we are to live our lives. They don't have that kind of control unless you give it to them. I feel like I'm talking for the sake of talking now, because it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. But you want to know where you've been? You want to know where this mentality comes from, where all this crap started from? Look in our history. Look in our history. The residential schools did nothing in the last 50 years other than destroy lives. Destroy lives. Not only that, but now they're sitting here trying to throw money at it. You know, as if money can solve anything. Money is not going to heal these people. It won't heal me for what I had to deal with. And I'm sure it won't heal a lot of people who had to deal with worse than I did. But it's time to move on from that mentality. We can. It's within us to do it. That's what I got to say for now. Acme and Gessaloo, everyone.